downtown DC jail, man, where I spent the first night. Oh, Neil, dude. I tell you what, I can't even explain to you how terrible that place was. The bugs in this place, the walls were just like moving with bugs, man, like every different kind of bug you can imagine. And I mean, this place was scary.
Oh, scary. I'm telling you, that's the founder of Cowboys for Trump. Had to spend some time in jail in Washington, D.C. after what happened on January 6th. It happens to the best of us, right? But what's amazing is he's absolutely shocked that jails are not clean places and that there might be some bugs there. This is fascinating. Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. I do this thing called the Rick Sanchez Podcast. Join me there when you get a chance. And I also get a chance to have this conversation here on TYT and Rebel HQ. And here's the thing. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that this guy from his ivory cowboy hat now has a perspective that he's never seen before. I mean, put this guy up again, because now we're going to have a conversation, he and I. And here's what the conversation's going to go like. Ready? It has to say something like this. Prisons in America today are in crisis. And now you know, because you got the chance to spend some time in a little jail, which is nothing compared to the rest of the prisons where we have beatings and stabbings and rapes and people are actually killed. Oh, it's much worse than bugs. And by the way, 60,000 people in the United States every single day spend their time in solitary confinement, Mr. Cowboys for Trump. Did you know that? 60,000 people spent 23 hours in a cell where all they have are walls that they could stare at all day long, and it makes them crazy. And they'd love to have a bug come by once in a while just to maybe break the monotony. Yes. Maybe you should also know that the United States imprisons more people than any country in the history of the world. See, that's important too. That's really important. And that most of those people are there because there's some corporate prison outfit that's making money as a result of them being in those prisons. So this is information that I'm glad you now know. See, now we're all better. Now we're all better. You share your perspective with us, and you learn a new perspective that maybe you never knew before, thanks to having to spend a night in jail. Oh, by the way, there's another complaint that he and his friends have that I guess they never knew about our, prison system. Here it is.
Because now anyone like you can be disqualified from participating in our political process. And this is, quite the war on us, isn't it, Couy?
Stop. She just said the war on us. So I guess she was looking at bugs or eating bugs in a prison at some point too. And by the way, she's supposed to be asking a question to get information. When you hear somebody doing an interview and they say on us, she's trying to lead him. She's trying to convince him this is what they do. But I digress. Let's keep listening.
Absolutely. And the thing that they did, Gina, is they didn't use the term insurrection against me in a criminal court, but they did so in the civil courts. This was a civil lawsuit filed by plaintiffs outside of my county of representation. And I went before a single judge, a state district judge, on a bench trial. And through his ruling, he ruled that I was a part of an insurrection from office. And I has removed me from office.
This is amazing. He's mad because the judge decided that because he committed a crime, he now can't run for office. I guess this is, again, a different perspective for Mr. Cowboys for Trump. You see, if he did a little bit of homework, he'd find out that there's nothing new about that. In fact, here, Mr. Cowboys for Trump, I live in Florida. Let me tell you a little bit about my state. This I think you're going to find interesting. 20% of all Americans who are not allowed to vote in any election are here in Florida. 20% of all Americans who are not even allowed to vote are in Florida. And many of them are there. You know why? Because they got caught smoking a marijuana cigarette or something like that. Yes. Anything that eventually was determined to be a felony, whether it was drugs or anything else, those people can't vote. Oh, and wait. Here's something that may surprise, maybe not, I'm not sure. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Of all of those people in Florida, I'm going to give you a statistic now. 15% of all African Americans who live in Florida, are not allowed to vote. See, these are perspectives. These are numbers. And maybe the best way I could put this is we who look at things with a wider angle lens, not just what's underneath our cowboy hat, We see the world through a wider angle lens, and we now are so excited that you have come on board, and you too can see some of the things that maybe in the past you would never have seen. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you. I'm Rick Sanchez. I do the Rick Sanchez podcast. We talk about life. We talk about things from a Latino perspective and from an American perspective, which is even more important. And I'll be looking for you. Thanks for being here. Dale.